Paul, I thought we'd talk about underride collisions on transport trailers, and I thought you might have a few comments on truck sale devices and underride collisions. So we have the side skirts and underride collisions there, and also at the back underride collisions.
Okay, well, the side underride problem has been addressed and been a lot of attention given to it for quite some time, and I don't think anybody disputes that there should be some better form of, or any form of, safety guard on the side of transport trailers, especially in front of the wheel bogie. The rear underride problem has been kind of addressed by underride safety bars, but at the side it's more difficult because the wheel bogie in North American trailers, at least, is often repositioned depending on the load distribution, and so it's hard to, the gap between the wheels of the trailer is of variable length. So frequently, and actually usually, you'll find that there's a skirt domain where the wheels are never in that domain, and then there's a gap behind the skirt but in front of the wheels in the range of 3 to 6 feet, which exists because the wheels are not in the full forward position that they could be in, so you can't obstruct that possibility. So it's difficult to really put a safety guard in the most dangerous place, right in front of the wheels. So we think, as most people would think, that the best solution to an accident is to avoid it in the first place, to not have one. So we try to harness other safety, tech aspects that can help to not have the accident occur in the first place. Firstly, the lighting effects that we can do, which can be quite subtle and quite effective. It's hard not to notice. The conspicuity is very good that we can create in this dangerous zone. And further to that, you can have sensors, including radar, that would then detect an impending accident and send off a warning signal by sound or by light, and then thereby the person, the vehicle, or the pedestrian or cyclist is given enough warning to then take evasive action. There's always the scenario that nothing works and the conditions, there's like ice on the road and everything else fails, and you have to have some absolute backup kind of a system that will stop like a car at speed. That would be quite desirable, but it's hard to do because heavy structural guards, the weight of them displaces payload in the trailer, so there's a fair bit of cost involved in not carrying cargo and then carrying a structure. And that structure, it's difficult to have that structure cover the domain in front of the wheels because it's variable in size. Other issues with the heavy rail idea have to do with clearance, getting a truck, a trailer kind of stuck on a railway track because the clearance wasn't quite enough. And clearance issues are actually quite significant, and a barrier to a good underride, a structural underride barrier. So we do have in our works a lightweight, high strength concept that spans the entire length from the landing gear to the rear underride guard. Heavy metal structures that are very extremely strong. So that is our mounting points. And then we cover the entire length, including the wheel bogie domain. And so then we have that as a absolute, safeguard concept. At the tail, the underride issue is, it's been solved to a decent degree by the high strength underride guards, but you still don't really want to crash into a metal guard either. That's consequential often. So the boat tail being there is having sort of a spacer of a sort, and any lighting or radar aspects we can put in there too may well then avoid even those kind of crashes that are not necessarily fatal, but they still are consequential. So that's our overall approach to side underride and rear underride.
And NTHSA has been working on this as well. And do you have any comments to make about truck sales submission there? Our attempt to participate in this.
Well, we submitted, our ideas. I just mentioned we submitted an overview of the concept I've mentioned here, and including one that's a little bit out there, I suppose, but I don't think it's that far-fetched if you wanted to do it. That is, we do have an airbag, basically, as a side airbag, like sort of if it was a very heavy-duty material, which it can be, like a very strong, heavyweight fabric, which is still very light compared to metals and structural beams. That could be part of it, like an airbag. A car can be stopped by an airbag. That is doable. It's been demonstrated. It's just scaled up from the airbags that work very well, and they're very light. Those car airbags are extremely light, and they stop a torso from being injured. So you can stop a car from being injured by an airbag, but that would be a little bit down the road in our, that's something is, I wouldn't say it's the first thing to do here, but something to think about.